Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review, we're going to be looking at the Autobots Unite. This is the Rise of the Beast Starscream figure. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to take him out of the packaging in a second. We're then going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes. We're going to do some comparisons with some other Starscream figures, and of course we're going to see how his energon gimmick works. So quite a bit to get through with this video. So as I start to spin it around, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please. Right, I also believe that this is a repackage from the Bumblebee toy line as well, but I never saw these when they first come out, and I'm interested to see what this guy is actually like. To give you an idea of size, just before I pick him out, he is a big figure, to be honest. That is your Voyager class Optimus Prime, so he's easily as big as a Voyager class. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly set him free from there, and then we'll do some first impressions. Oh, okay, so I've just set him free and it's time for some first impressions. And to be honest, this is one of them cases where, you know, it's sort of you get what you pay for. And I suppose you've got to realise the demographic that this is aimed at. So it is aimed at a bit of a younger audience, and that will explain why the figure itself, I'm going to say is basic, but it doesn't look that basic. What I mean by that is it feels a bit cheaper. You can see there's obviously huge hollow parts all over this, but to be honest, it doesn't look that great. And I say this about all figures, to be fair. I always give them, I suppose, a get out of jail. You know, from the front he looks all right, and if you're going to be displaying him in robot, he does look all right. It's just from the back you can see the glaring huge holes. With regards to how he looks, the head doesn't move at all. It is completely molded on. The arms will move, oh, that surprised me, out to the side like so. They swivel at the bicep there, but they don't. Or do they flex there? That looks like they might, but I'm very scared. Oh no, they do, but I think that's obviously more for transformation purposes rather than an actual bicep flexion. The wrists are molded on, so there's no articulation there. Same as the waist, there's definitely no spin. These will come out to the side a little bit. That is not a skirt, so there's no extra movement there. There's definitely no knee bend or ankle tilt. It is just all one solid molded piece, but as I say, for what this is aimed at, for the price point it's at, it's not a bad figure. I think that's about it for first impressions. Let's have a look at it in the alternate mode. Okay then everybody, here he is in his alternate mode, and to be honest, it's not too bad. Obviously we've still got the huge gaping back of the legs there, but I suppose it does explain more why they were left hollow, so they don't, I suppose, stand out too much. It's not too bad. We've got, of course, the very familiar colour scheme that we are used to having with Starscream. And again, as I say, overall, it really isn't that bad. The only thing I don't really understand is there's two heads for him. There's one under there and there's one under there. Again, you'll probably have noticed I've uploaded a tutorial for the transformation process separately, just to keep the main length of this video down. Now, it is a big figure, as I've said. I've showed you in the first part that this, I'm surprised at how big it is. That is Masterpiece Trailbreaker. This is Drag Strip, which is huge, obviously. He really is a large deluxe figure, but this again is just, I suppose, as big as that, if not bigger, which we'll again do some more comparisons in the robot in a second. But of course, let's show you the main gimmick of what this, I suppose, toy line is all about. So you can open up that space there. I've just knocked the cockpit open by mistake, and then this is the energon igniter engine. So you press it down and it will in fact fire off. So you're looking to slot this in. We've got to push it all the way down until the wheel's at the bottom, and I haven't got much space to work with here, but if you push this down, it will start to drive off. So if you've got a bigger space, floor surface area, whatever you want to call it, you can push it down and off it goes. But you get the idea. That's what it does. That's exactly what the engine's for, which again is fun for what it is. Now, unfortunately, there's nowhere on here where you can attach any accessories. Now, granted, he doesn't come with any, but with the fact that he's got obviously the fists that are the 5mm ports, which are there. In fact, now I've just said that, let's just see if we can fit. Now, there wouldn't be any use anyway. There wouldn't be any use putting him in there. And of course, it would just get in the way of the landing gear. So it wouldn't be any use whatsoever. But to be honest, as I say, that's not really... I can't imagine many people leaving it in this. I would imagine they'll leave it in this mode mainly to play for that particular reason. But I think if you're going to have it on a shelf, you're going to have it in robot mode. But I just wanted to obviously show you that gimmick. See, there's the two heads, and I don't know why there's two. All right, anyway, let's come back for the final time then with him in his robot mode, and then we'll do a few more comparisons. So back for the final time then, and as you can see, he is in his robot mode, and the other, the alternate mode with the Gimmick isn't too bad. As I was trying to show you in the other part of the video, he does have the 5mm ports, but obviously they're only on the front of the hand. The back of the hand, the gap must be much, much bigger because these didn't fit. So although he doesn't come with accessories, if you're buying this to integrate or, play with your other Transformer figures, you can do exactly that. You can use their weapons. So this means obviously you'll be able to use the fossilizers, weaponizers, Junkions, etc., all of them. You could, even if you wanted to, pop this in his hand. It won't really do too much, but I suppose you could perhaps pretend it's something that's, firing or spitting something at him, but you can pop it in his hand. I don't believe there's any other place to store it, no, because this is all opened at the back. You could put some weapon, yeah, you definitely could. You could put some fossilizer parts coming up over the top. You could really build this guy up, to be fair, which again I suppose just adds to the playability. With regard to, as I say, what he looks like compared to some other figures, there is the Voyager class rather large reactivate Starscream, and this guy is quite a bit bigger, which you can see. There is Bludgeon, who is your sort of standard Voyager class figure, and again this guy is bigger. Obviously they're made up completely different. Transformation schemes are much more intricate and there's less gaps, but I just wanted to give you an idea, as I said, of just how big he is. Sorry, I'm reaching right around, but I've got Dreadwing here, and not much smaller than him, in all honesty. Not much smaller at all. Right, last couple of size comparisons. If you collect Generation 1 and you're thinking of buying them from somebody else, there's an idea of how big he is compared to some Generation 1 figures. There is a standard deluxe figure that is, again, available pretty much everywhere. There's a standard core class, so that's pretty much all the main official sizes. I'm just going to show you a couple of unofficial if you don't collect, well, again, you might not collect it. So there's New Age Sludge, New Age Optimus Prime, Iron Factories, Wheeljack, Mechanic Studios, Comic Book Sandstorm, and Magic Squares Trailbreaker. There you go, guys. As I say, it ended up being quite a big video, to be fair, because he's intricate, he's interesting. I mean, intricate obviously for the size and for what you're expecting. Nothing like a masterpiece figure, but again, perhaps a little bit too much for the younger buyer. However, I hope the transformation process video helps you out as well. There he is. This is Autobots Unite, Rise of the Beast, Starscream, Energon Igniters. Let me know what you think of him in the comments, guys. Take care.